Let's start with that collective and let's go right into this. And we are in the chat, of course, on highvibe.tv, on the web chat and all that, on the videos.
On the browser,
mobile
baby.
browser, or we are on the chat on YouTube. Yo. All right. I'm going to prop everybody up right there. All right, collective. New moon in Pisces week. We've got the Sun and Neptune coming together. You know, we put the title as, is this a dream love story or is this a horror story? I mean, that's the whole part of Neptune is delusion, illusion, deception, but it also is the highest vibrational. It's so out there, it's hard to tell. You know, whenever you think of like crazy space movies and the farther out they go, the weirder it gets. That's how far out you can go. Same thing goes with drugs and psychedelics. That's why Neptune rules it, right? Like, and alcohol, right? You think, oh yeah, I've had a couple shots, I've had a drink, I'm doing well. And then the next thing you know, it's just that one little extra sip that just goes, blah, blah, blah. Or it's that, oh yeah, I could take one more hit of LSD and then blah.
And 24 hours later, you wind up in a back of a barn, lost, talking to some cows.
And then end up saying that you're going to be an astrologer and ride a 15-plus year journey now and being an astrologer.
Or that.
You know what I mean? Like, it's very, could take you to some very weird and cool places. But for love, with Venus here, and with Venus getting closer and closer to the sun from the geo point of view, we're actually, as Earth's point of view, going to oppose with the sun in the middle, right? We're going to be the farthest from Neptune. We're going to be the farthest from Venus. So some people might feel like super far away from their love story right now. And then other people might think they're the closest, yet they're the farthest away, right? Like they're in a relationship, but they feel the farthest away. I think I'd rather be the latter. I'd rather feel like I'm far away from something and not have something or something like that than be like in a full-blown relationship and be like, I feel like we're the farthest away from each other. Like, that is what's going on. We got Mars and Gemini now, and I've been telling people, and I'm just going to say this, especially if you watch Deep Astrology, which you got to be on highvibe.tv for, we don't have any time to waste. All the planets are direct. Like, all the planets are fast. The rest of this year does not look too hot. Let's just tell you, I'm just going to be honest with you. As far as, like, being able to, like, make changes in your life. Now, this is also kind of the anniversary week where things got really weird from a year ago. And so if you had to replay this last year, when it comes to love, you better start making your choices and your decisions coming into this new moon to really clear and be if it's in your best, highest spiritual place. And with this Mars and Gemini, you know, you have to actually like have those hard conversations and be direct and be clear and take action. Mars and Rahu, this is the winner, Mars and Rahu. We're going to be seeing this over these next couple of weeks, but you know, this is one of those weeks where you're going to find out if it's a horror story or it's the ultimate, you know, fantasy that you can move forward with. And you know, sometimes that's good news, right? Because it's like, I'd rather know than not know. But if you're going to delude yourself by like diluting your soul, by watering it down, by not wanting to listen to the spiritual truth, by not listening to the signs that the universe is saying, then this week will be just you doubling down on your delusions in love. Got to make that one clear. So let's see what's going on with the collective here. We're going to start off with this. We're going to start off with the Golden Tarot. It was right here. I feel like I want to start that golden energy off for people. Golden. You been feeling golden lately, Craig?
Follow the signs. Follow science.
Golden.
Follow the signs.
All right. Let's see what the collective is going through right now for love. Let's see. Well, we got the Nine of Swords. We definitely need to pay attention to what the fuck we're doing this week. Little warning sign here. Oop, anxiety. But it's, you know, it's not, it's something we can avoid by paying attention. You know, it's like waking up from a nightmare. How funny that I did put like horror story. You know, we got to wake ourselves up this week. Are we really going to do this? Am I going to continue doing this? Am I going to enter into this one thing? It doesn't mean, if you're dating out there, maybe it's just that one kind of energy that's just like, no. Or if you're in a relationship, there's things that need to be addressed, and maybe you're just like, I don't want to address them. Well, you better address them. The universe is trying to wake you up to them. It can bring a little anxiety, though, or it can feel very alone, too. If especially you're going through anxiety, definitely get help for that. Reach out to friends, reach out to healthcare providers. But, there's a lot of anxiety just of how people feel overall about love. Our challenge card we got is the Page of Swords reversed. Our overall is the Nine of Wands in reverse. And how do we get through this? The World card. Interesting. So with this Page of Swords reversed with the Nine of Swords, gee, many Christmas. I mean, this is where, you know what? Speaking the truth is everything. That's going to be a challenge, though. Page of Swords, though, can also feel like people say one thing and don't deliver. Or, I got a feeling people are going to catch some people in some, alternate realities of what they're saying things are. Nine of Wands is the overall. I think that this is a time where nobody's very sure at all. I think that this is a very unsure card, unsure of what to put your energy behind and defend. And the World card is how we get through this. I think that we are at a completion cycle here of our relationship energies, of how we feel that we want to change. So that's good news, but it also is opening ourselves up to new ideas, new world, new people, new situations, and not being afraid to look out that window a little bit. Sometimes that can scare people, especially those in partnerships and so forth. There's definitely something weird in the air. Of course, I'm somebody who believes in staying through things and thick and thin, but we also, I just got to say, is where we're at in the universe right now. We're going through a different universe. We are going through a completely different dimension, and so we're all casting ourselves in the weirdest places. And I just got to say, some people's soul contracts have come to endings. We're going through very different reality energy and very different vibes. You can just see it, feel it in the world. And, some people, depending on who you're connected with, it could be a horror fest, but you don't want to face it. Well, we got the Ten of Wands that came with it. That's a lot of weight to let go of. So we can let go of all of our anxieties this week by not dealing with situations that we don't want to go through anymore. And we got the Five of Pentacles. Wow. I mean, this is the victim card. I think that we're going to feel like we're in a lot of trouble when we're trying to defend things that are giving us anxiety, that aren't working out, and that aren't really panning out factually for us. And instead, I think a lot of it is like not being afraid to face the music and just be like, hey, like you can go through really hard aspect this week by just like trying to be too nice. Like, this is where it's just like, it's about being nice by just being clear, being like, you know what, I'm not feeling this, bye. Or, you know what, I'm feeling this, where are you at? And I think people need to have massive clarity this week. So if you're dealing with somebody who can't give you that clarity, that's going to be a sign. If you're yourself too afraid to put the clarity out there, then that's a sign. Like, this is definitely where there's too much weight on people's shoulders to even deal with bullshit anymore. There's too much energy that's trying to open up to a massive, great world. When it comes to our overall, it's going to be interesting. I'm quite interested to see what this energy is saying for this week. Well, we got Chiron. Wow. Well, definitely. We're licking our chops. We're looking at our wounds here. We're at the MASH tent. If anybody remembers that show. So, it also feels like it's a burden that we have to hold and take on. But I think that's the only way to, get through something this week, especially love-wise. Like, hey, take the brunt of it and move through it and get the payoff and heal. There's a lot of also just in relationships, finding people who are willing to be fully themselves, no matter how weird it is. Anybody who's trying to put up the good show is definitely a sign that they're not somebody to focus on, or maybe you're dealing with somebody who's lost connection to their soul because they can't just be raw and authentic. Look at this, transmute. Oof, we got the snake. We got a lot of things changing here, a lot of shedding of the skin. That's what I'm telling you, that's why I'm feeling it. The reading just keeps on going. Like, this is a lot to purge. And maybe just for people, it's just purging to be able to get to where you really want to go in life. and really where you want to go for love, which I think is a good thing. But I just am saying that, geez, this is definitely not, oh yeah, it's just a normal week for love, and yeah, it's going good. I mean, this is where plans get foiled. This is where spirit presents itself in a new manner and shows up and says, hey, no, listen, like, let's get to the real thing here. You know, we can paint ourselves into a lot of delusions here. Today for tomorrow is our shadow. So yeah, look at this. Tomorrow's just going to continue being exactly what is today unless you make the change today. And that's a shadow. So you want tomorrow to change, but you're not making any changes today. And that's going for the whole collective. The whole collective is going to have to energetically, individually be like, hey, I'm ready to make a change, so I'm going to do something about it. And let's see how that will affect tomorrow because I made the change today. And I think that that's a very clear indication of where things are going. In our last card, we asked Ganesha lately what's going on. I hope Ganesh can.
Oh, Ganesha.
Oh, let me get the Craig Ganesh. Let me get the Scorpio Ganesh.
Ganesha, bring me the good cards, Ganesha.
Man, you did so well.
Well, you know, that's a plus of growing up in Orange County. We get to be around many different ethnicities and tonal voices, and I just picked up on them.
Very true. Reflection. I feel like there's going to be a lot of projection this weekend too, or week too. But I feel like, you know, we're reflecting deep and going, am I really about to do this? I mean, and reflection of what? Reflection of the light of truth? The reflection of, is this too much weight to hold on? Maybe it's in ourselves, holding like a fear of that we won't ever get anything we want. For some, we won't ever get the love we want from this person, and we're afraid to still transmute it. There's definitely a lot here. I'll pick one card for singles and one card for relationships. How about that? For relationships, that's so funny. It's the 7th house of partnership. We're going to have to get more specific than that. The devil card. If you're in a relationship, you have to really ask yourself if you're in a trapped partnership. And there's kind of a darkness going on. There's an attachment that's too deep. For singles out there, well, it's the Grand Trine of Blessings. And what's the card that comes with that? The King of Swords reversed. Well, I don't think that you understand what the blessing is. You know there's a blessing somewhere, and I think stop trying to figure it out. You know what? At this point, like, you don't need to understand what the blessing is. It's just going to show up. I don't think you have to have the full mental projection and understanding. Sorry for those in partnerships there.
Too bad, so sad. Got the dice?
Oh, yeah. We're doing dice. Andrew Dice Clay, we're doing some dice? Yeah, we're doing some dice.
Oh, hey.
Gemini, 11th house with Venus. Well, is the collective about to have an orgy?
Don't tempt me with a good time.
Oh, man. Venus in the 11th likes to have a lot of fun. In Gemini, it's curious. We are all curious. And I'm going to just give out the biggest trigger for those in relationships. Your partner is looking at that ass. No, not yours. The other person's.
That other ass in the room.
Oh, it's going to be a good show today. I already got a good feeling about it.
Yeah, and I think it kind of comes down to breaking ourselves out of that victim mentality, that playing that victim role that you know, things aren't necessarily working out. It's about, okay, yeah, they're not working out. So what are you going to do next? You know, are you going to just sit there and kind of, you know, wallow in your own pity? Or are you going to actually start building yourself back up? Or you're going to actually take the steps to build that healthy foundation, to build that healthy life with or without those individuals? And that could maybe even turn the tide a bit. Maybe that's what they're missing out on. Maybe they're kind of feeling lost also. And so when you right the ship, they're going to be able to ride it with you and sail along if that's what you want. If that's what you want to do, you want to bring that individual with you. You want to continue with some of that happiness that you know that you've tapped in with. But first we got to get out of ourselves. You know, we have to be able to absorb the world around us and not necessarily in that scared, broken down state, but in a healthy alternative reality if that's what you choose to do so.